You'll never guess what we've been talking about while you've been away.
Yeah. Probably best you don't know. Welcome back. You're watching and listening to Breakfast on GB News with me, Ellie Costello, and Anne Diamond. And you might be able to hear the giggles of senior political commentator Nigel Nelson and the former Conservative advisor Claire Pearsall, our husband and wife duo.
Yeah, we've been falling out over what we think is a good Christmas movie.
Yes.
Tell us what your favourites are, Nigel.
OK, so on Christmas Day, or over the Christmas period, you've got to watch The Great Escape, and you've got to watch Zulu. I've watched reruns of that for years and years. I can probably do it word for word, but those are the Christmas ones.
No, you see, I'm fed up of seeing Zulu and just sitting down on the sofa, not moving. But no, Call the Midwife, The Holiday, as we were just talking about, the film, which is just awesome. And I like a little bit of sort of Home Alone and things like that, because that's just family entertainment.
We were talking about that this morning, weren't we?
I've never seen Home Alone.
Have you not?
I watched it last week.
Yeah, I need to watch that. That's on my list.
You have to.
Right, let's get on to what we're meant to be here to talk about.
Let's do some work.
Which are, some of the amazing stories in the papers, actually. And one of the ones that really got us going was Claire, in the Times. It's the smell of women's tears which reduces aggression in men.
Yeah, now I'm not convinced with this one, but apparently the chemicals in women's tears reduce down the aggression and the aggressive behaviour by 43.7%.
That's quite a lot.
It is. I mean, I'm not sure. Is it the tears? Because it's suggesting that when they collected the tears for this study, it was from a woman's face. So you also have the chemical ingredients in whichever face cream or makeup or something like that.
They got rid of that. They actually did this. It was Israeli researchers who were able to do it. So there were no other chemicals coming in. They just collected the tears.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the way
you sound convinced.
Well, I was sort of. When I actually read how they did the experiment, they did a computer game. So the guys then sat on a computer, and it was a game that said they'd had money stolen and they could take revenge by getting the money back. At the same time, they had sort of cotton wool pads with women's tears over their eyes, around their nose so they could smell it. And as a result, that's where it went down 47% of the men trying to get the money back. And that shows the less aggression. You don't believe me? I can see on all your faces.
No, it sort of makes sense, isn't it? Because if you do burst into tears, men tend to go a bit softer on you, don't they?
But I'm not sure if that's the smell of the tears or just the guilt factor that they have made a woman cry.
I just don't
and
think,
they're looking at someone. So
but this was not making a woman cry. That was the point. This was actually taking just the tears away from. So it wasn't the bloke actually making someone cry. They were working on the tears, and there's a control bit. They just used ordinary saline solution, which didn't work.
All right, well, we'll throw it open to you, please, at home. Do you reckon there's anything in that? GBViews at gbnews.com. Meanwhile, we're also talking about how good it is to have separate bedrooms from your other half.
Oh, God, I should leave that one over to you to start with.
No, is the answer. Well,
it says so in the Times, so it must be true.
Cameron Diaz says so, which I think is rather different. And she has a nice big Hollywood mansion where she can actually sort of spread out.
With wings, I'm sure.
But the idea is that you can sleep better, although the sleep is not as satisfying as being in the same bed as your partner. And in our house, given that all the bedrooms are used up, if we tried to go and do that, I'd end up with a landing. So I don't think that would actually...
You'd be on a couch downstairs.
Yeah.
Isn't it Cameron Diaz who was in The Holiday?
Yes, that was a very good list. Yes. Everything comes back around Cameron. Claire, what do you make of this? Do you think we should be in separate bedrooms?
No, as a rule. I think if one partner is keeping the other one awake with very loud snoring or are unable to sleep, then I can see the benefit of it. But to be honest, I don't sleep very well if Nigel's not there.
Oh,
I really don't.
I love you.
I mean, I'm not one for the emotion, but it's much better if he's there and I know he's there. And when he's away, it just doesn't feel quite the same.
You two are so cute. Can I just say, we were talking about that, women's tears and if it reduces arguments because men can't cope, really. And I said, do you two argue? And when Claire cries, do you make up with her, Nigel? And Nigel said, we never argue.
No.
She was so
We
sweet, very,
don't.
very sweet. But Cameron here is saying she loves her husband dearly. She's married to, who is it, Joel Madden?
Yes.
Is that his name?
Yeah,
no, Benji Madden.
Benji
Sorry, I
Madden.
think that's his brother.
Yes.
They have a very happy marriage, but she says she just likes her own space.
I can understand that
It brings
too.
Kind of
joy.
understand it.
I think a woman in every house, not that all houses are big enough, in every house a woman should have her own living room, her own little room, you know?
Like a den.
Well, yes, exactly.
Now, I don't disagree with that. I think a little den with clothes and a space for your makeup and a space for lovely
For
things,
your
or
little
even an
hobbies.
office.
Yeah.
I
Even
think
an office.
I might be losing my library.
Exactly, exactly. But
I
it
think
would
that's
be
a
quite
great
nice
idea.
to have somewhere that is yours with all of your stuff that's left alone and no one's touched it, no one's made it messy. Would be absolutely superb.
Yeah.
But
And it also means if you do have an argument, you've got somewhere to retreat to.
You can
run away
decorate
to.
it in the
not
way
coming
that
in.
you like. You can have the cushions that you like.
Yeah.
Things like that. I mean, I wish that we had a house big enough
Yeah,
to
we
be
all
able
need
to
bigger
do it.
houses. I'd like a dressing room. I think that would bring me joy.
I've got a dressing room. I cannot
Have
get in
you?
it now. Yeah.
So many
It's got- I
clothes.
know. And they're all over the floor because I tend to hang things on the floor. You know, I'll try that one on. Yeah. I end up with a
Nothing
pile,
wrong
so I
with
can't
it.
actually get in it at the moment. And my ambition is by Christmas to have tidied it up.
I want to be you. I want to.
Not long to go then.
I want to
No, I don't know when I'm going to do that.
Shoes.
I know, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
And I fall over the shoes all over the place, yeah.
I bet you have a good shoe
Yeah.
collection.
I was gonna
I've got
say,
a
should we
wonderful
come
shoe
and help
collection,
you?
and I wear plimsolls all the time. So
I think we should come and help you with your shoe
I'd
collection.
love that. I want one of those declutterers. You know, there are people who will come and declutter your home.
I've seen that.
If there's one watching at the moment, get in touch.
It's not me. I was just
GBNews
offering
at
to take some shoes.
gbnews.com. Yeah. And Claire and I can always help you.
And now, have we got time for an moment?
Yeah, there's always time for an arm
Baby
moment.
hedgehogs.
Yes.
Swimming hedgehogs. Wait for this. It's a very famous wildlife hospital, actually, and it had an unlikely helping hand when it came to weighing hedgehogs recently.
Yes, and that came in the form of the Transport Minister, Mark Harper, who went to Tiggy Winkles in Buckinghamshire for an announcement he hopes will save small mammals' lives whilst protecting drivers too. Our London reporter Lisa Hartle went along, and just a warning that this report does contain flashing images.
Do you want to look at your hello hedgehog, meet hedgehog sign?
Usually it's movement of people that the Transport Secretary is concerned with, but today it's about creatures like this hedgehog and the road signs that could protect them. Local authorities can now choose where to put this signage without going through government, something Mark Harper hopes will save time and the lives of small mammals.
I'm making it much easier for local authorities to use that sign in the future. So at the moment, if they want to use it in an area where there's a risk, either mammals from motorists or motorists from mammals, they have to go through a complicated procedure to use it. What I'm saying now, I'm pre-authorising the use of it. So in future, if local authorities think there's a need to use it, they can go ahead and do so. We don't have to come to my department for permission. And I hope that'll mean that we'll see more use of the sign in sensible places where local conditions determine.
Thousands of animals are treated each year at the Tiggy Winkles Hospital in Buckinghamshire for injuries sustained on the roads.
About 30% of our patients are road traffic accidents. We have probably 14,000 casualties a year. So that's quite a few thousand that come in through road traffic accidents, normally foxes, badgers, deer and hedgehogs. So I think for every sign that's out there in the right area, an impact position, if people just catch their eye, they'll be able to slow down and be aware that there could be something crossing the road. It could be a hedgehog, it could be a frog or a toad in the season. So it's a really big step and a really good thing.
Thanks to the incredible work of the staff here, animals are given the best treatment available.
You know, we give them injections of antibiotics, painkillers, we do hydrotherapy, we will even do surgery with putting a pin into a broken leg, all sorts our vets will do, yeah.
Just before we left, I had a very important question for the Transport Secretary.
And finally, how would you rate your hedgehog experience today?
10 out of 10. It was a great experience today. I was able to weigh a hedgehog, one almost at the weight it needs to be at before it's released into the wild, and the hedgehog was very interested in looking at the sign. Obviously recognised the picture. This is a great organisation here. They do fantastic work in getting animals back to health before they release them into the wild. So all power to their elbow. And anyone watching this, if you've got any money spare, feel free to donate it.
Lisa Hartle, GBNEWS, Buckinghamshire.
Oh, I've so got to go there and help a hedgehog swim.
You do.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
sweet. Really, really lovely stuff. What should we chat about now? We've got a minute to go. Let's talk about Doctor Who, shall we? It's good for our elf.
Yeah, apparently. This is a weird one, really. If Doctor Who is shown over the Christmas period, fewer people will die the following year, according to research.
Now, how on earth do they reckon that?
Well, I don't know how they put this together. They've done the statistics, and it is purely statistical, so we don't know why this should happen. But this Christmas, we've got the new Doctor Who, Ncuti Gatwa, and he's on Christmas Day. So what we need to do is monitor everything from Christmas Day onwards.
How
and
on
see if we all survive better.
Well, we're going to be in great shape, according to that survey.
Exactly. I mean, we put a great advert for it.
Wow.
Maybe that's the reason.
Very good. What do you make of that, Claire?
Do we not think it's just because it's a Christmas special and
There's
everybody
always a
loves
Christmas
special and everybody's slightly happier? I don't think you can
But
put it
last
down.
year this happened to us, apparently, according to this research.
But it also, at the end of the piece of research, it said that we should all be thankful for doctors working on Christmas Day. So I'm not sure where we're going with
Well,
that
it's
one.
Call the Midwife for you anyway, isn't it,
It is.
Claire? Doctor Who.
And Zulu for him.
And Zulu
And I have to
for
sit
him.
through it.
Nigel and Claire, thank you very much indeed. We'll be back with lots more after a quick look at the weather.